Hello, my name is Will. I am an assistant of the ASJ Sport Training channel. Be very welcome. In this video, see the 9 tips of what not to do for those who want to gain muscle mass. If you want to gain muscle mass, this content will definitely be very important for you. If you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications. This way you help our channel and don't miss any videos. Thanks.
Nine tips of what not to do for those who want to gain muscle mass. Every year we set new goals, right? However, some people seem to like to insist on the same mistakes, continuing to make them despite everything that shows them to be wrong. As the main objective of master training is to bring you, readers, quality information that can be used in your training, we decided to show you some of the main mistakes that people make in their training to gain muscle mass, and what you should do to avoid them. These mistakes that we are going to show are more common than they seem, and they compromise not only the results, but also the health of the bodybuilder. That's because training to gain muscle mass has to be thought of in the long term, with planning and execution done in the right way. Forget about summer projects and change your lifestyle. See what not to do to gain muscle mass. The first thing you have to avoid doing is spending hours at the gym. Spending hours at the gym with excessively long workouts is a sign of inefficient training. More and more science has been demonstrating that very long weight training workouts, with the objective of gaining muscle mass, are highly inefficient. This happens for several reasons. Firstly, a long workout cannot be high intensity. Volume and intensity are inversely proportional. So, it's at least funny to see people saying they trained an hour at full intensity. If the person was able to train for an hour, it was probably not at a satisfactory intensity. Another factor to consider is that longer training, longer than an hour, produces more catabolic hormones such as cortisol. In addition, the release of anabolic hormones, such as GH and testosterone, usually takes place around 30 minutes of training. The second thing you have to avoid is dieting only from Monday to Friday. To gain muscle mass, just eat a lot. It is not necessary to diet on the weekend. This is a big mistake. The diet to gain muscle mass needs to have quality. As you are eating a lot more calories, if these are not well selected, you will have a big increase in fat, which will make the cutting phase more difficult. Therefore, your diet needs to be balanced from Monday to Monday. The third thing you have to avoid doing is abusing alcohol. Alcohol has a very negative effect on your training because in addition to impairing the absorption of various nutrients, it also impairs your disposition for training, causes neural damage, which considerably increases central fatigue and decreases protein synthesis. So if you really want to gain muscle mass, don't abuse alcohol. Focus is essential for those who want good results. The fourth thing you have to avoid doing is training only what you like. Bodybuilding is the fight against your own body. Training only what you like is very common, but it is very harmful to those who want to gain muscle mass with quality. It is very common to see men who do not train lower limbs and women who do not train upper limbs. In addition to making the body disproportionate, training only a few muscles prevents quality protein synthesis from occurring. Imagine the following: your body only interprets stimuli and does not understand certain situations. You only train your upper limbs, but circulation makes metabolites and nutrients circulate throughout your body. Will the processes be really efficient for muscle mass gain, with the actual use of them only in some parts of the body? Of course not. If you really want to gain muscle mass, you need to make your anabolic processes more efficient. And that will only be possible with a workout for all major muscle groups. The fifth thing you have to avoid is not keeping the training schedule. Most common error of all presented here. It's no use spending the whole summer training, if in winter you don't even show up at the gym. Your body will never go through the improvement of anabolic processes, and you will be an eternal beginner, who has derisory results in muscle mass gain. A body with a lot of muscle mass takes time to build. So don't just train in fashion seasons, and invest in yourself all year round. The sixth thing you have to avoid doing is don't copy other people's workouts. Not respecting their individualities is the mistake that leads to everyone else. That friend of yours, who appears to be similar to you, has very different personalities from yours. That celebrity, then, is not even spoken. Seek to have trainings made with quality, assembled according to their individuality. The seventh tip of what you have to avoid doing is sleep little. You will only gain real muscle mass if you sleep right. And I'm not just talking Monday to Friday, but the whole week. Staying all night at the club, even if you are well fed and training correctly, compromises your results, especially if it is frequent. Sleep is the time where your anabolism goes through the roof, as long as you've trained correctly and eaten well. Therefore, it is essential for anyone who wants to gain muscle mass. The eighth thing you have to avoid doing is training at low intensity. If in item 1 we talk about how harmful it is to spend hours at the gym, then you need to stay little, right? In part yes, as long as it is done at high intensity. The more intense your training, the more it will cause micro-lesions that will heal and make your muscle cells increase in size. Therefore, train at high intensity, which means correctly handling issues such as movement speed, load, interval between sets, range of motion, and many others. The ninth and final tip you have to avoid doing to gain muscle mass is don't plan. The ideal would be for each person to have a personal trainer, but as this is not possible, it is important that you have a sense of planning. You will need to have an adaptation phase, a base period, and a specific period. In the case of increasing muscle mass, you need increased strength and endurance in the basic phase and more specific components in the next phase. Without planning, you will never get anywhere. Finally, I understand that with these 9 tips, you will surely be able to know what not to do to gain muscle mass. Good training! Did you like this video? Leave like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot. Thank you very much.